Parliamentary procedure was created to keep organizations running in a smooth and efficient manner. Parliamentary procedure is defined as a code of ethics to be followed by individuals in a group to conduct business. Parliamentary procedure is unique to the democratic process. To learn parliamentary procedure is to learn democracy, allowing majority rule while giving the minority their say. We hope that this video will enable you to be involved in the decisions of your 4-H club and other organizations you may be a member of. The guide most commonly associated with parliamentary procedure is Robert's Rules of Order. Be sure you purchase the latest edition. Before an organized meeting can occur, there should be an agenda. An agenda is the order of business for a specific meeting. The agenda should include the following: call to order, roll call, minutes, treasurer's report, committee reports, including standing committees and special committees, unfinished business, new business, and adjournment. Call to order is done by the president to bring the meeting to order, and for many organizations, such as 4-H, will include opening ceremonies such as pledges. Roll call is done by the secretary. Roll calls are used to determine quorums and majorities by those attending the meetings. Minutes are the recorded transactions from the previous meeting, and in youth organizations are generally read by the secretary. Minutes may also be distributed electronically prior to the meeting or in hard copy at the meeting to save the time of reading them aloud. Treasurer's reports are given by the treasurer. These reports are the financial transactions of the club since the previous meeting. This information requires no vote and is for information only. Committee reports are given by the committee chairs. There are two types of committees: standing and special. Standing committees are permanent in nature. Examples include a budget committee or membership committee. Special committees are those formed to address special circumstances which meet a short-term objective. Business can be brought forth from a committee and acted upon at the time of the committee report. Only committees designated with the power to act may take action without bringing the business forward to the overall group for approval. Unfinished business is business which was not completed at the last regular meeting. New business is exactly that. New business put before the group for their attention and vote. Usually, new business should be on the agenda. However, any member may bring up any new business if recognized by the chair. To adjourn is to formally end the meeting. The gavel is used by the president or chair to provide order to the meeting. In this video, you will see the president use one tap of the gavel to signify the end of an item of business. This may not be done in every club. The only required gavel taps are those for opening and closing the meeting. 2 taps brings the meeting to order, and 1 tap adjourns the meeting. Additional gavel etiquette includes 3 taps to signal members to stand. The chair may also repeatedly tap the gavel to regain order if a meeting becomes unruly.
The floor is now open for new business. What is the first item of business?
The purpose of a main motion is to introduce business to the group. A main motion is debatable, amendable, and requires a majority vote. Debatable means the motion can be discussed pro and con. Amendable means the motion can be changed. Majority means more than half of the votes cast.
Mr. President.
Yes, Sullivan.
I move that we participate in the Adopt a Mile program as part of our community service project.
A second is required for a main motion to show that another person wishes the motion to be considered.
I second that motion.
It has been properly moved and seconded that we participate in the Adopt a Mile program as part of our community service project. Is there any discussion?
The president will ask for debate or discussion once a motion has been properly moved and seconded. An individual wishing to discuss a motion must gain recognition from the chair.
Mr. President?
Yes, Katie.
I think we should participate in this program because it shows a good sense of community service. Also because it shows a good sense of pride in our community.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion?
Mr. President.
Yes, Michaela.
I'm in favor of this motion because we could easily turn it into a fundraiser by separating the aluminum cans, sending them to a recycling center, and taking the money off of that.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion?
Mr. President.
Yes, Lily.
I'm strongly against this motion. It's in the busiest intersection in town, and with all the semis going back and forth, it's unsafe for the children to be by the road.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we should now proceed to vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay.
When calling for the opposition, the President may ask for a negative response, such as no or nay. In the event of a non-voice vote, such as raising hands, the President may ask for the same sign.
Nay.
The ayes have it. The motion carries. We will participate in the Adopt a Mile program as part of our community service project.
Now, let's add another step. We're going to amend a main motion. An amendment is used to modify the main motion. First, you must have a main motion so that there is something to amend. A second is required for an amendment to show that another member wishes the motion to be considered. Amendments are also debatable, amendable, and require a majority vote.
What is the first item of business?
Mr. President,
Yes, Sullivan.
I move that we participate in the Adopt a Mile program as part of our community service project.
I second that motion.
It has been properly moved and seconded that we participate in the Adopt a Mile program as part of our community service project. Is there any discussion?
During discussion or debate of the main motion, an amendment may be proposed.
Mr. President,
Yes, Michaela.
I move to amend the main motion by adding the words between mile markers 10 and 11.
I second that amendment.
It has been properly moved and seconded that we amend the main motion by inserting the words between mile markers 10 and 11. Is there any discussion?
Mr. President,
Yes, Katie.
I'm opposed to the amendment because I feel that they will probably assign us which mile we need to do, and we will not have a say in the matter.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion?
Mr. President,
Yes, Lily.
we have to take mile marker 10 and 11 because all the others have already been taken.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we should now proceed to vote on the amendment to the main motion. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay.
Nay.
The ayes have it. The motion carries. The motion currently on the floor is to participate in the Adopt a Mile program between mile markers 10 and 11 as part of our community service project. Is there any discussion?
Once an amendment passes, it becomes part of the main motion. The main motion has been modified.
Seeing none, we should now proceed to vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay.
Nay.
Motion carries. We will participate in the Adopt a Mile program between mile markers 10 and 11 as part of our community service project.
You have learned about a main motion and amending a main motion. Let's review for a minute. A main motion is debatable, amendable, and requires a majority vote. Debatable means the motion can be discussed pro and con. Amendable means the motion can be changed. Majority means more than half of the votes cast. An amendment is used to modify the main motion and also requires a second. The amendment is debatable, amendable, and requires a majority vote. Once an amendment passes, it becomes part of the main motion. In some cases, it may be necessary to delay action on an item of business until more information can be gathered. There are two basic ways to do this. The first is to lay on the table, to postpone taking any action until a later time. This motion requires a second and a majority vote. The motion to lay on the table is not amendable or debatable.
Is there any more new business?
Mr. President,
Yes, Sullivan.
I move that we participate in the Adopt a Mile program as part of our community service project.
I second that motion.
It has been properly moved and seconded that we participate in the Adopt a Mile program as part of our community service project. Is there any discussion?
Mr. President,
Yes, Lily.
since Ms. Dean is very involved in this project, I move to table the motion that we participate in the Adopt a Mile program as our community service project until she is present and can provide additional information.
A second is required to table a motion.
I second that.
It has been properly moved and seconded that we table the motion to participate in the Adopt a Mile program as part of our community service project. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay. Motion carries. This motion has been tabled. Is there any further new business?
Before a motion can be taken from the table, another item of business must be transacted.
Mr. President,
Yes, Katie.
I move that we change our meeting location to the Bank Hospitality Room next month.
Do you recognize this as a main motion? It is.
I second that.
It has been properly moved and seconded that we change our meeting place next month to the Bank Hospitality Room. Is there any discussion?
Mr. President,
Yes, Sullivan.
we should move our meeting place because this room won't be available next month.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we shall proceed to vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay. Motion carries. We will hold our next meeting in the bank hospitality room. Is there any more new business?
Mr. President,
Yes, Michaela.
since Ms. Dean just walked in the door, I move to take from the table the motion to participate in the Adopt a Mile program as part of our community service.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I second that.
It has been properly moved and seconded that we take from the table the motion to participate in the Adopt a Mile program as part of our community service project. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay. Motion carries. The motion currently on the floor is to participate in the Adopt a Mile program as part of our community service project. Is there any discussion?
Mr. President,
Yes, Ms. Dean.
I spoke to the Highway Department regarding our safety concerns, so we decided to put up safety barriers as well as a trash truck going along picking up all of the trash bags along the interstate, so there will be no safety hazards.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll now proceed to vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay. Motion carries. We will participate in the Adopt a Mile program as part of our community service project. Is there any more new business?
The second option for delaying action is to refer. Refer to a committee is to refer the issue to a committee to further investigate the item of business or take action. This motion requires a second, is debatable, amendable, and requires a majority vote. It is often helpful to suggest the number of members or a deadline for committees to report back. A committee may also be given the power to act, meaning they can move forward without coming back to the club. A committee that has not been given the power to act must present their suggestions in the form of a motion and have the action voted on by the club before moving forward.
Is there any more new business?
Mr. President,
Yes, Sullivan.
I move that we participate in the Adopt a Mile program as part of our community service project.
I second that motion.
It has been properly moved and seconded that we participate in the Adopt a Mile program as part of our community service project. Is there any discussion?
Mr. President,
Yes, Lily.
I believe there are safety precautions that need to be investigated before taking on this project.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion?
Mr. President,
Yes, Katie.
I move that we refer this motion to a committee so more information can be gathered and brought back to the club.
I second that.
It has been properly moved and seconded that we will refer the motion that we participate in the Adopt a Mile program as part of our community service project to a committee. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, we shall now proceed to vote. All those in favor of referring to a committee, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay. The motion carries. This motion has been referred to a committee consisting of Sullivan, Lilly, and Miss Dean. Is there any more new business?
Let's review delaying action. The two most common ways to delay action on an item of business so that more information can be gathered are lay on the table and refer to a committee. To table a motion is to postpone taking any action on the motion until a later time. This motion requires a second, is not debatable, is not amendable, and requires a majority vote. Once tabled, a motion cannot be taken from the table until another item of business has been transacted. Refer to a committee is to refer the issue to a committee to gain further information or take action. The motion to refer requires a second, is debatable, is amendable, and requires a majority vote. Remember that the role of the committee is to gather information and report back to the club. In some cases, a committee may be given the power to act, in which case they can move forward without coming back to the club for vote. However, they are still accountable to the overall club and must report on their activities. To adjourn is to formally end the meeting. The motion to adjourn requires a second, is not debatable, and is not amendable. Adjourning a meeting requires a majority vote.
Is there any more new business?
Mr. President,
Yes, Sullivan.
I move to adjourn this meeting.
I second that.
It has been properly moved and seconded that we adjourn this meeting. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. Motion carries. We are adjourned.
The motions presented in this video are the most common motions in parliamentary procedure. They provide a foundation on which parliamentary procedure skills may be built. For further information, obtain the latest edition of Robert's Rules of Order, or contact your local county extension office as they may have resources.